What? I said, if you open the window, shut the window. Otherwise it ends up open all night. I think I've done it. Why is the music still quiet? It's still going to sound like close that link. There we go. Yeah. Everybody hear me okay? Well, I can hear myself, so must be okay. Hello. We're going to carry on from. I don't even know what date. I want to say Thursday because I had to go to the funeral on Friday. Yes, I think it was Thursday. So we flew from. Where did we fly? We took off Sherburne. And we flew up north, I think, and then we tried to go to the lake district, but it was crap weather. Now again, I must confess, I've not actually bothered to check the weather forecast, but it should be good. Almost finished, just gotta connect up to the Ivao. Almost forgot to do G36. Done, okay, good. Let's check the weather. EGNH. So we got 340, which is that way, so probably 28. So yeah, we're gonna go. Let me give you a look. How do I do it? 2? Yeah, there we go, number 2. So we're gonna go, we're gonna take off, we're gonna go up through Fleetwood. I've been to Fleetwood, so I can some stuff out, mate. I'm gonna carry on just going straight north over the water. I'm gonna go up into the Lake District, because I want to go there before. We're gonna watch out for the fire. We're okay until the first waypoint. 2, have to start stepping it up. I'll end up having to go up to as high as 3,000. I have to see what the weather's like. But we can always go up the lakes, look. There's wind and me. I always like try and stick a little bit lower in the valleys and things. And we'll see how we get on. Right, let's crack on. We get up my check. I think I showed you this last time, didn't I? That's the chart. This one. Right. So very quickly, I don't do it all, as you know, I'm not semi-realistic. I don't want to replicate everything, see? I try and cover the basics, so that's all we need to do. So, gear lever down, parking brake set. Need to switch to profiles. Because I was flying the, set on the, yes, I know I don't have pedals. If I had pedals, I'd keep it on. But I can't fly with the stick twisted the entire time. It hurts my wrist, to be perfectly honest, so just have it on. Fly-by-wire doesn't like it, so we've got to turn it off with that. Right, we can have that up. Oh, hang on. Right, anyway. Fly-by-wire doesn't like it, so we don't put it on. Right, ash mixture, yes. Let's do the little locking things on the throttle. Throttle 0, RPM. Bill, get rid of that a minute. We need. They're open. Yep, we need. Only be honest with you. Down, you did that. Well, batteries on. Voltage, good. Switch those on. I go to the green, that's good. Beacon light, where's beacon light? Beacon light coming on, powering up the aircraft. Fuel check, yeah, we have some fuel, that should be enough. Most of my flights don't require more than the default, to be fair. The one thing that does annoy me, I know it's actually kept the state this time. Sometimes I've noticed it seems to change Fahrenheit a lot, and this seems to reset itself, but it hasn't done that. That is good. Right. I think that's everything. Still on. Yeah, I want the cockpit. That's good. So just test everything's lights up. Like I say, not gonna. I don't do every single. I'm not a real pilot. I don't pretend to be. I just do the basic stuff. Got the window most of the time, to be. Right, that's that done. Right, so let's get the engine started as usual. Cold engine start. So mixture check for rich. Throttles IRPM set. Throttle will be open. Give the pump a high for. I always give it more. 2 seconds. Fuel flow is greater than 3. It is. That is good. Bring that off. Bring the throttle back down to about half a minute. Open the engine. Engine cranks. That's a little bit quiet. Let's give it a little bit more. Installed, updated to Windows 11 yesterday. Still tweaking. That might be okay. Let me know if you can hear the engines, or if you want to hear the engines, or whatever. Just let me know stuff. Okay, so after start, throttles can go to 1000 RPM, which is about there. That is good. Oil pressure is in. Which is oil pressure? This one, the oil pressure is in. I saw that one and I thought, oh, it's not an agreement, then it's not the right one. So oil temperature, ding is in. That's That's good. The batteries doing good. Probably turn on now since we started the engine. Avionics can go on, and then heat as desired. It was 17 degrees. That's fine for myself. It's not. I'm not really sat in here, am I? So I wish we should order 17 degrees. That would be good. Right. Let's taxi out to 28, and then we will crack on. Let's have a quick check, see if there is, by chance, any ATC line. I doubt so at Blackpool. Edinburgh is lit up. I'll fly at Edinburgh. I'm sure the people up there would appreciate it. Nope, no traffic around me. So I'm not going to waste my time doing unicorn calls. That would be stupid. Right, so let's get taxiing out. I can break off a little bit of the. We can set the picture back to half. Protect that guy's head off with the wing, but I'm sure he's got insurance. Shouldn't be too much of an issue. So no, hopefully, I've never seen the Lake District. I was talking to my wonderful other half yesterday, and we were on about another holiday next year. I've already booked the main family one. What about one for just me and her? And she said she wouldn't mind going back to the Lake District. She's been before. I've never been. Now, I do appreciate a nice view, to be honest. I love a good view. A good view is everything. But at the same point, I don't know. We'll see. She'll get her own way. Yeah. And I'm sure it'll be nice. I'm sure it'll have some beautiful scenery. Stunning. This is like a little bit of a preview. See what I'm going to be seeing in real time. See if it compares. So we know there's no traffic. We'll have a quick look anyway. Nothing coming in. Since there is not on the web eye. There's no other aircraft in the vicinity, so we're not in any rush. We'll taxi down and we'll turn around and then we'll do a few little checks. I suppose you shouldn't really do research on a runway, but like I say, there's nobody else around, so. And we don't do the whole run-up checks because I don't particularly understand half the steps, is the honest answer. I don't know. There's some bits that I get, some bits that I don't get. No, that's the wrong. That one. Obviously, the easier stuff like setting the parking brake, I understand that. That's easy enough. It's the whole excess of propeller to 300 RPM drop. You just drop the RPM to 300. Suppose you do. The autopilot checks and everything. I just don't think we need any of that, to be fair. We don't need this whole runway length, so we'll just spin it here with the differential brakes. So cool. Let's just get Sammy a little bit straighter. Just a little bit. Okay, right. Parking brake set. Let's just do a few of these checks really quickly. So let's set the takeoff flaps to 1, pitch to power. Let's trim to. Let's try if 3 never works. Just have to pull back for uploads when it's every 3. Let's try 4. I guess that's 4 there. Let's try 4 for a change, see if that works. We set to nav, we don't need to tune, I'm just going to fly up the coast. I recognise Fleetwood, so that's okay. Primary. Everything's on that needs to be on. Turn. Landing lights on, I suppose. Up the taxi on. Pardon me. The yacht works. The autopilot check, yeah. Windows are closed, yeah, we're good. There's loads of mixture max power. Landing gear lock, autopilot disengaged, best ones. Okay, so again the plan is to take off and we're just going to fly up to the north. Let's have a look and let's go. I'll turn that off for now and I'll keep an eye on the screen. If somebody else puts a message in, it will enable it again so you can now see. Right, I can break that one, go. See if this trim setting works. So it'd be nice to find a good trim setting to take on, because I always fly with same weights. I'm very rare, like I say, I'm very rare. Oh yeah, that one nice. That's not, but maybe a little bit less. It's gonna go up to about 1,100 feet per minute, roughly, according to the book. So yeah, we need to be, I reckon, about there. What's that then? That is 3, but it never seems to take off when it's set to 3. Alright, this is the altimeter, did we? Now we have, okay, which way is north? North is this way. 500 feet, let's turn. Let's enjoy the wonderful scenery of Blackpool. Never been to Blackpool, and you don't live too far away. I do recommend it. It's alright. It's not brilliant, but it's alright. Let's just bring the throttle and the RPM back a little bit. Yeah, Blackpool Pleasure Beach. I don't know how much it costs to go to Blackpool Pleasure Beach nowadays. I bet it, I say that it's like I'm 50,000 years old, don't I? But I'm not. I'm not sure what roller coasters are supposed to be fair. There was about 4 or 5, I think, at Blackpool Pleasure Beach. I'll have a look right here, but they're a concentrate on what I'm doing. Continue to look at the scenery as usual. There's one, there's 3 piers, 1 pier, 2 piers, 3 piers. Then we have the famous Blackpool Tower. That costs an absolute fortune to go up that thing nowadays. Now we're going to be lazy, we're going to turn the autopilot on. We're going to do that, and put heading and director on. Now let go to stick and we'll enjoy the scenery. There's the tower. Let's go outside. I don't go outside enough, really, but I should do. Where's the tower? So there, somewhere in the middle of that green bit there, you can see my cursor where the tail is, just there. That's where Blackpool Zoo is, somewhere over there. And I've been down this front here on a tram. Horrible experience. Really not fun. Yeah, really not fun. But if you like that sort of thing, why not? Oh, Discord is beeping. I do hate when Discord beeps. You've no idea why it beeped. It's so annoying, that. So annoying. So we're heading pretty much straight forward. Pretty much just straight north, really. And then, see where we go. Here's Fleetwood. Not much to really say about Fleetwood. Train 2. Yeah, that was my first ever time driving with trams. And that is a terrifying experience if you're not used to driving on roads that trams go on. That's really scary, to be fair, because you don't know what to do, really. So we stayed there long. I don't know if I can zoom in enough. We stayed somewhere over here in a caravan. I do like caravans. And we had a little beach day somewhere along here. Maybe here somewhere, bit of a beach trip. Went to go try and watch the sunrise. No, sunset, sorry. But yeah, just one. Oh, hang on, no. Yeah, so after last flight, I did think to myself, but I should have run it, just push with the cloud like. I know you're not supposed, but it's not real, is it? This is the trade-off. I know. I like to navigate in a realistic fashion. I like to fly in a semi-realistic fashion. Like I'll do overhead joints properly. I'll do proper circuits. I'll fly properly, but I'm not one for. I do like checklists. Don't get me wrong. I do like clicking checklists. I do like going through them. They are quite fun. But at the same time, I don't want to spend half an hour trying to find buttons that don't actually do anything in the simulator anyway. So if anybody is watching, or if I am sat here, let's squawk San Francisco. If anybody is watching and I'm not sat here like a psychopath talking to myself, what plans do you have today? Do you have anything exciting going? Like I know Amy said she's got the dentist and then the hairdressers, which is a strange combination, I suppose. But why not? Why not? It's hard getting a dentist these days, isn't it? It's nearly impossible. I had to go to the dental hospital, which is Leeds University. They train all the dentists. A lovely girl. She did all my stuff. She let me know. I had to let me know she passed. She passed everything she had to pass. Wonderful job. Welcome to lunch. Remember to I don't care, bro. Yes, we were going to land initially, wasn't we? We were going to land. Where are we? Let me switch to map. We were going to land here originally, weren't we? That was the original plan. But my plan now is to continue across a little bit to Castle Kennedy, and then in the next episode. And to be fair, I left the 20-minute timer because I've been working on some other stuff, and I tend to work on. I'm a very weird individual. I tend to work on 2 or 3 things at once, different monitors, and then my brain just switches between stuff. And it sounds chaotic, but it's really. I find it sort of soothing, to be honest. And I feel like I'm probably being less productive than I would be if I just did one thing and finished and then did the next thing. But I like to switch between, so I've been working on a little website project that I have for when I do the air traffic controlling. And I will at some point stream some air traffic controlling. I keep meaning to, but I want to make sure I don't breach any guidelines or anything like that. So I'm going to have a chat with somebody that streams ATC see if they know. Just reading stuff doesn't really help me. It doesn't sink in my weird brain. If I get a visual, like if I get a visual guide or a video or somebody explains something, then I'm good. Reading it takes me a little bit of effort. So we do have some high ground coming up, as you can see. Yeah, so we may see. I've got some housework to do. Very glamorous life being a YouTuber, streaming megastar. A lot of cleaning to do. Yeah, I've got a lot of cleaning to do. I did some yesterday. But anyway, my point was, I set the 20-minute timer as a deadline for myself, so I would actually do the flight. Because I do really enjoy flying. BFR, I enjoy looking out the window. I enjoy just looking at the map and working out where I am and going, ooh, look, there's this down there. Where are we actually going on holiday, me and my other half? Yeah, we could have probably flown around now. Oh, it's just, hang on. Go outside. I think it's just on the little peninsula there where she wants to go. What we're considering going. Park. C-A-R-C. Big range over sands. Then yeah, I suppose from there we're not far from famous Windermere and stuff. We'll see. It'll be fun. Right there. Somewhere anyway. Right, let's have a quick check on the vehicle profile, because we don't want to be hitting anything. So at this point, we're looking at 2,000 feet is a safe altitude. Let me just shift this over a little bit. Okay, so we need to be 2,000. Need to be going up as high as 3.5. Very short. We need to be, obviously, we need to get over the top of those. So I think that there, look, is Lake Windermere. I think that lake over there, you can't really see much. I think it does look pretty, doesn't it? Even in the sim, it looks pretty good. And there we go, now we've got you a better view. So this is Lake Windermere. That possibly could be the town of Windermere. Yeah, right, let's concentrate on not crashing. And let's get ourselves up to 3,500 feet. Right, as I said, I know technically speaking with BFRs we should be good in clouds, but if we do, just don't tell anybody that we did. And then we'll just pretend that we're actually alright, I think, to be fair, aren't we? I think we're alright. Very pretty, don't we? But you see, to me, you get a better view. Bring your eye up, don't you? Get a much better view. Got a slight 7-knot wind, according to a little nav map. Pushing us slightly right. Gonna counter a little bit on that north heading. We should be good, right? My microphone on. Oh, it is. I'm getting much better at this streaming thing. Getting much better at it. It's not really much to talk about, is there? I mean, the whole aim was that you people were watching, which is probably nobody, to be fair. I'm not particularly bothered. But you people that are watching, like, ask me questions or keep the chat going, sort of thing. I mean, obviously, if no one's watching, that's quite difficult to do. It just results in me sat here like a psycho. babbling away to myself, trying to think of things to say. Yeah, I actually forgot the plan was to go to that other place. What's it called? Kirkbridge Airfield. We might just end up reflying and just going there, to be fair. We'll see how we get on. Very scenic. Bit windy there again. Nice. Yeah, my plan is to basically work my way around. Hopefully the entire country. There's no rush. We don't have to do it all in a week. There's no deadline or anything. It's just take his time, plod around, do what we want to do. Looks like there's a couple of schematics coming in to somewhere. Where are the schematic guys going? Very nice setup them gentlemen have. They're going up to PE in Inverness. They're going up to Inverness. Nice. Yeah, so that was the plan anyway, to hopefully I want to encourage more people to fly VFR. There's not enough people, in my opinion, fly VFR. I'd love to know why. I'd love to know if it's a confidence thing, that people are just not sure what to do or what to say to the ATC. Obviously in these videos, because of the time of day that I fly, which is primarily late morning, early afternoon, we wouldn't normally get that much ATC on anyway, because most people have work and college or school or other things, so we've got to be gotta take that into account. It's not a real situation. There's not 150 people sat at the computers all day, every day, 7 days a week. I don't really care what network you're on. You're never going to get complete coverage all the time. We get it on an evening or on a weekend when most people fly, when most people are at home, so it's all good. I'm not complaining. It's just one of those things. If I flew on a night time, right, at like evening times, probably after 6, then I'd probably get a couple of ATC. But if it's something that people want to see, then I'd probably maybe conscript some help and give some examples. People want a little bit of a confidence boost, you know what I'm saying? It's because VFR is quite different from IFR. Simple, I always say it's on both aspects. Controlling and flying, IFR is very, very simple. IFR is basically whatever position, Edinburgh Tower, hello, call sign, information, whatever on board, question IFR clearance to XYZ. And then they come back with hello, you cleared destination, go Sam 3 Charlie or whatever, squawk 1 2 3, job done, easy. James Davis, hello there sir, how are you today? How's your day going, okay? Yeah, but then Then it's the whole pushback, request pushback, request taxi, clear a takeoff, job done. Then on the other end, pretty much the same. Not much to it. But VFR is slightly different, and I think that puts a lot of people off. You've got the whole debate of sometimes you're supposed to ask for start, sometimes you don't have to ask for start. Do you ask for start? Don't you ask for start? Sort of thing, and maybe that puts a couple of people off. My opinion on the matter is, it doesn't really matter. Just request start. And how I normally do it personally, whether it's right or wrong, I don't know. I'm not a real pilot. I don't pretend to be a pilot. I'm not a real pilot. You like aeroplanes? Cool. What's your favourite aeroplane? What's your favourite plane, James? And yes, just request that startup clearance and let them know what you want, really. Around even on the GA apron, requesting engine start and clearance from VFR circuits, requesting engine start, taxis active, in the zone, POB, QNH, etc. and so forth. Nice and easy. And then it's much harder for the controller, because the controller is Ryanair, so he's 737s then mostly. I believe that's what Ryanair fly, mostly 737s. I am about 3,500 feet high at the moment. I'm in the Beechcraft Bonanza, which is my favourite plane here. She is. A bit of an outside talk. We're just over 1,000 feet above the terrain. According to little map, a little bit off course. May vary a little bit, but the safe altitude is 3,000 feet. With 500 feet like yourselves, a little bit of the wiggle. So I think we may actually head up to Kirkbridge and maybe fit in a couple of touch and goes. That might be fun to do. Do a overhead join, and then we'll maybe do a couple of touch and goes, and then we'll head over to Kennedy, Castle Kennedy. Yeah, that might be fun. The Beechcraft Bonanza, it's called. The default. There is a default version of it in Flight Simulator. This is the black square analog cockpit version. Use payware. There is a nice enhancement mod for it as well on Flight Sim.to, which is also very nice. What's that there? Is that a mast? Yeah, some sort of mast over there. Let's just give it a little bit of a turn, just do that. Sweet. Right, so there should be a small town coming up, and then a little bit of a swampy looking area on the little nav map. Let's have a quick look and I'll show you what I'm looking at. So we are here. We're going to be heading up to here. So we're looking out for two roads that cross each other, and a railway line right next to a road in a little town, and that's going to be Wigton. We're going to proceed. We're going to find the airstrip. We're going to join. We'll probably. I don't think it really matters, does it? I think we'll probably overfly. Probably do right-hand circuits. Let's give you a bit of a clue. So right-hand circuits. Nope, wrong way. That one. 2-8 left hand. Right. So yeah. So we'll join overhead. What's the airfield's altitude? The airfield's altitude is. Where does it even tell me? So the nearest weather station is an area base. The wind's coming from, I can see it a little now, it's coming from there. So we'll join overhead, so we'll fly our thing down, so we'll overfly the airfield like that. Once we get the other side of the runway, we'll start as descent. We'll join the dead side. And then we'll come back across the runway at 1,000 feet, about there-ish. Then we'll rejoin the right-hand circuit 28, and we'll see how we get on. Let me try and clear up some of this clutter. Failed that time, didn't I? I'll leave the thing, and we can see how well we do. Right. Let's have a look out the window. That looks like a town. That's gonna probably be Egnh. I'm flying over to an airfield called Castle Kennedy, which I'll do a couple of touch and goes, and then I'll show you. There's the road, there's the railway line that we mentioned when we briefed, and there is the airfield, lads. Let's take the autopilot off, let's bring the throttles back, get the speed under control. We are ridiculously high, so we may do a couple of orbits. I think that would be wise, just to do maybe one orbit just to help bring some altitude down. It's a Castle Kennedy, so it's Echo. What is it? Echo. I can't remember. Yeah, Echo Quebec. No, Echo Golf Uniform to Castle Kennedy. Right, so we'll get ourselves down to 2,000 feet. Just trying to check the altitude. The altitude of the airfield's 30 feet, so yeah. We'll head down to 2,000 feet. We'll join overhead, send on the dead side, and then join the left-hand visual circuit runway 28 downwind, and then do maybe one, maybe two touch and goes. Descent a little bit quick because I'll stare at the nav map. But yeah, so we'll do one or two touch and goes, and then we will see how we get on. Right, nice. We have descended. Let's get the speed under control. Let's retrim. A little bit more nose up the trim. There we go. Let's go the stick. Well, here's the train line in the road again. Here's the town. Shouldn't really be overflying it that close, but never mind. There is the airfield just on the top of this weird patch. This weird coloured terrain. Wrong button. Get the speed to about 100 knots. We've got a little bit of chop on the weather radar, like a bit further out. Right, there's the airfield there. Let me try and zoom in so you can have a look. There it is, look. There's the runway, that little dark line there is the runway. And we'll overfly that, and then we'll join. Let's get a little bit, drops a little bit looking out the window and zooming in and stuff. Let's get a little bit of altitude. we could have a little look when we get nearer and see if we can see any windsocks or anything of such. And let's drop this to 2,000. 1,800. Let's go a little bit higher. That wind definitely is pushing us right. I do wish I had rudder pedals sometimes. It'd make flying so much easier. Because here's the airport below us. This runway that's running there, we're going to be landing on that one. We're crossing over onto the dead side of the runway, so we're going to start as descent. Keep an eye on the speed. We want to be bringing that speed back. I like to land the Bonanza about 75 knots. Right, we need to just go down a little bit more because I'm too busy talking and I'm not paying attention to what I am doing. Let's trim a little bit. Let's get that speed down a little bit more. Okay, we should be good now. We can start our turn to the dead side downwind. Now we're just going to carry on turning, to be fair. And we'll just come back across the threshold of the opposite end, which should be 0. Should be 10, I think. Go down nice and slow. There's the airport again. So this is the runway here. We're going to be landing on not that one, it's the other one. So we're going to try and aim for the other side of the runway. It's about now. Its speed's still a little bit much. Okay, let's get one set. Okay, there we go. Looking good. There's the airport below us. Need to just pay a bit more attention to keeping the speed and the altitude, right? Getting the trim how I want it. Right. That's not bad. Quite pleased with that. A little bit descent. It's okay. Let's give it full RPM, but we'll just drop the throttles a little bit. Right, let's turn to downwind. Do not climb in. Come on, cooperate, be good. So there's the runway that we're aiming for. There, just by the wingtip. Just by the wingtip. Could have set up some more stuff, but it's going to be roughly about east. If we'd have set the course bar, might have made it a little bit easier, but I know it's roughly east-west, so not too bothered. We still have that wind, 10 knot wind pushing us south, right hand side. Right, let's descend a little bit. Drifting a little bit because I'm just trying to counter for that wind blowing us right. I'm just trying to go a little bit left. Keep the left wing dipped a little bit. Without actually hoping it doesn't turn us too far to the right. Roughly about 45 degrees, so we're going to make a turn to base. Now we're going to drop the speed just a little bit more. We're going to start our descent. Okay, nice on the north side. A little bit more, just to allow for that wind to push us. Where's the runway? There it is, look. Just a tiny bit longer, tiny bit longer, tiny bit longer. Let's start turning to final. Keep that descent going. Drop the gear, add a little bit of drag. Throttle is practically idle now. Get the flaps full. See, I think we'll do a touch and go, like as I said, and I think we'll probably do another one. We'll probably just do 2. And then we will just watching that speed. Trim, let's get us descent trim how we're on it. Nice, a little bit less throttle. Drifting all over the place. I haven't got my joystick in the right position, now I have. 80 knots. Little bit nose down, but we'll be okay. I'm just gonna float it down. I've got that wind, so we are in a nice headwind. 13, 10, 15 knot headwind, so. A little bit of throttling as we pull up so we don't lose too much speed. Just on the stall speed. That's what that beeping's telling me. We're already on the power, we already anticipated that. Now we can drop throttle to about 50 feet. Slam it into the deck as usual. Not too shabby for me. Not too shabby. Right, power back out. Trim it down, because we've got a lot of trims. Trim it down. Tipping the flaps up. We're out of runway, I think. We out of runway? Probably out of runway. Let's gear up. Let's climb back up to 1,000 feet. Nice. We don't need to go too fast. Okay, so we're 500 feet. Let's turn to cross. Oh, I enjoyed that. That wasn't a bad little landing for me, to be fair. So just go up to about 1,000 feet and we'll try and keep a speed around 100 mark. We'll just use the white heading line as a rough guide where we want to be. That's roughly about the 90 degrees. We're 1,000 feet, so let's retrim. Speed's good. Speed's, no, let's just knock a little bit of power off the throttle. Trim nose down a little bit. I'm thinking the sort of edge of this swampy stuff. Just want to turn here. Ivao, what's your favourite aeroplane? Yeah, it's probably going to be the Banana. Sorry, I was concentrated on not crashing. I'm just seeing your message. Yeah, probably this one, to be fair. Probably the Beechcraft Bonanza. It just fits a real niche for me. It just lets me do what I want to do. It's a little bit faster than the 152. You can get this thing up to about 150 knots. You can get it a little bit more if you really want to. So it's not slow. Although I do like flying and I do like looking at the scenery, I don't want to be flying super duper slow. So it's a little bit catch-22 with me, but yeah, I do like this aircraft, the Bonanza, but I do like the black square. This is the black square. I'll give you a quick look outside. This is the black square version. It's the exact same model, but it's all the cockpit is changed. So they basically used the default flight sim model, but then they ripped out the interior and they've totally changed the interior. So really do like it. Really like it. What's your favourite plane? The black. I can't pronounce that. Black Hole 19856. What's your favourite plane? Do you have one? Are you into GA, or are you into airliners? Or... Right, let's ease off the throttle. Gear down. Get one notch. Yeah, I don't have anything against the airliners. I just prefer fly VFR. Like I've flown 3 nights in a row IFR to be fair. I haven't streamed it because I can't sit there for 3 hours talking nonsense to myself. And I'm normally in Discord and stuff with other people. You spell black hole. To be fair, that sounds like something that I do. That sounds exactly like something that I would do, to be fair. Yeah, so yeah, that's brilliant, is that? Absolutely brilliant. What you got a favourite plane? Just let my hand off the stick then. Nose dived. I've had a few people come in and say hello, but don't even have flight sim. We're just flicking through. Yeah, stumbled across the stream somehow. I'm not the most realistic flyer, but I do have fun. I do love to chat to myself. Yeah, we don't need to buy any new suspension quite yet, I don't think. That won't bad. Right, should we climb out and go see some more sites? Should we get ourselves airborne and go and see what else we can look at? Let's put the autopilot back on. Actually, let's turn on autopilot. So I didn't set the heading bug. Bring that up, bring the gear back up, then I'll concentrate on what I'm doing. I don't. Yeah, well, there's gonna be I don't know if how much you know about flight sim and stuff, but there's a company that make a Airbus 320 Neo. They're currently working on an A380 as well for flight sim. But it's each to their own, isn't it? You know what I mean? It's like I just prefer flying VFR. I just find it more interesting. I've done loads of IFR stuff. Right, let me just get this autopilot set up so I can chat. There we go. It's a little bit much. There we go. Yeah, I just like flying. I just like flying like this, to be fair. I like to look out the window and stuff and just see things, and yeah, it's just pretty. Look at how pretty that's just a sea, but look at how pretty this side is. Really nice. You know, from 40,000 feet. Like I said, I did fly the Airbus, the 320 Neo. I flew that. Where did I fly? I flew from Lisbon to Gibraltar with a bunch of guys from Shamrock Virtual. It's a virtual airline based on the Aer Lingus. So lovely bunch of gentlemen. So that's that. So yeah, just Google Shamrock Virtual VA, and you'll find that if you're interested in that. And then I flew. Where did I fly yesterday? Oh no, I flew from Dublin to somewhere in France. Really small little airport. There was about 7 of us, and there wasn't enough parking. It was quite quite comic. And then I flew in there was an exam on Ivao XU, the XU division last night, so I flew to assist in the exam. So mostly just flying in being always, to be fair, but necessary, and hopefully the student did well. I think he did. Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, nothing wrong. I actually only recently saw the Airbus A380 in person. So I'm not actually a big aviation fan, which people find quite strange because I love flying and I always fly online, and I love online air traffic controlling, all on the Ivao network. And so you start to cough. Yeah, love air traffic controlling on there, love flying on there, love chatting with people, meeting people, talking about aviation. But I'm not a big aviation fan. I don't, not. I can take them or leave them, We went to Manchester Airport because I used to go when I was a kid with my dad and my grandparents and people like that. I used to take my son when he was little and stuff. And it's alright, but I couldn't do it. I couldn't stand there all day like some people do. We did manage to see the Airbus, one of the Emirates A380s. And the only sad thing is we didn't think to check the winds before we left, and it ended up being 2-3s that were active. No, it ended up being 4-5s that were active. So it landed on the runway that you can't really see, and it taxied sort of past quite far, and there wasn't anything to really reference it against. But yeah, nice to see it, to be fair, nice to see it. I wouldn't mind going again, or going somewhere different, just to get a better look at it, to be fair. But yeah, we're going a little bit quick now, so let's get the drop and RPM set. Let's redo the mixture. There we go. Keep an eye on the speed. We're just dropping a little bit. Let's just give it a tiny bit. Around 155-ish. So we are heading somewhere over Australia. Give you a little look on a little nav map again. So we are going pretty much straight line. So there's a bay here, and then big one here, sort of thing. Bit of a lump, just behind that lump, I reckon. The lump is just set that. Minimum safe altitude is going to be 2,000 feet, which we are at. Check the altimeter setting. Altimeter seems to be good. So yeah, sweet. Right, back to the plane. Do you do much flying black hole? Do you fly on a flight simulator or X-plane? Absolute. There's nothing wrong with that if you enjoy watching it. That's fair enough. I'm not the most realistic flight sim person in the world. I just enjoy flying about and looking at things, to be perfectly honest. I do take it semi-seriously. Like, I won't do anything. I won't like try and do the loop or anything stupid like that, you know what I mean, or a barrel roll or anything. I do try and take it a little bit serious, but not too serious. Gotta have fun. It's a hobby. It's supposed to be fun, escape. Why not treat it as such? What other games do you play or like to watch? Any other games or any other things you like to play? So weird looking. Like a sort of Maori texture on top and trees around the middle. It does look quite cool, to be fair. Not want to have to walk up it. I bet that's a lot steeper than what it actually looks. I wanted just to go around it. I didn't want to fly over it. Although the minimum safe altitude says 2,000 feet, I just feel like I'm a little bit low. I just feel like I'm a bit lower than what I should be, really. It says minimum safe altitude 2,000 feet. Let's turn back a little bit. Right, should we try a little bit of old school, working out where we are? Obviously, we've got a little map, I know. But we could play with some VORs, maybe, make it a bit more interesting. What we got near us? Belfast. What is the range on Belfast? Belfast VOR range is 200. That might work for us. Cooperate. Yeah, we don't particularly need to track a VOR, but we could do maybe. It's a little bit different. Get a little bit of throttle. Give it a bit more mixture. So we're looking for, as stupid as it sounds, we go across this sort of moory area, which is the elevated area. There's a big estuary on the other side of this, so we're gonna want to be aiming for the middle bit here. So we'll get the nose facing that direction, I think. There we go. That's about right, but we're going to be pushed slightly left. Just give it another, we'll just go slightly, so we'll go with that middle hump. We're with that middle hump with the nose, and we might just get pushed a little bit, and that might help. Right, so, let me show you a little map, what I mean. So that's the high ground that you can see, and then behind that is a bit of water. Then we're going to fly until we come to some lakes. Then once we can see the lakes and the inlet, we're going to be basically able to see the airport. Now there is. keep yawning, my apologies. There is an abandoned airfield here, so we have to make sure we don't confuse it, but the runway, one of the runways is quite similar. It's not exactly the same, but from the air, you know, easy to confuse. One of the runways is totally different, looking a lot shorter. So, kind of similar runway, but a short, stubby runway. We're over the wrong one. It should be next to two lakes. So that's what we're going to be looking for once we get over these little hills. And to get over the hills, we need to be at least 2,000 feet. The highest point is 810 feet, and we're going to be 2,000. So we're going to be 1,190 feet above, which is fine. Does seem very low though, doesn't it? It does seem very low, but it should be okay. Right. Yeah, it does seem like we're very low. It should be fine, so. Yeah, we passed Loon, so that's the estuary there that you can just see. And we're pretty much on a straight line to the one of the airport. So somewhere over there. Microphone muted. Okay. What would you do if you had a chance to fly a real plane? I'm not overly interested, to be fair. It's like somebody asked me this a while ago, and it's like I'd rather go and watch Little Planes. I think I'd find going and watching GA, General Aviation, Little Planes like this one is GA aircraft. So I think I'd be more interested in learning more about little stuff like this, and yeah, I don't know. I don't really like the idea of flying in real life. In the flight simulator, if I mess up and I crash, I just reset. You know what I mean? I just reset it and I just do it again. But in real life, yeah, I don't know. A lot of people on the network that I fly on Ivao, a lot of people in the division and stuff, they are like real pilots and stuff. I think once you get that bug, and you get that first flight, you get, oh yeah, I want to do it again. And I probably would be the same, but I'm a lot more practical, to be fair. I know it costs a lot of money to become a pilot, and I wouldn't want to invest that amount of money, to be honest. It wouldn't. When it comes to money, I'm quite a tight individual. I don't like spending it. So the thought of laying out whatever, like thousands and thousands of pounds just to pass my private pilot's license, then I still got to like hire a plane or buy a plane. And then if you buy a plane, you have to have insurance, I assume, and you have to pay to keep it. Yeah, it's just, yeah, I'd never be interested. But if somebody said to me, you can have a go at this plane free, then yeah, maybe I'd be tempted. But I'd be more interested in the controller side, to be fair. I'd be more interested in someone giving me a chance to go to the control tower and listen to like real ATC. I think that would be, if I had that option, I think if somebody said to me, you can, sorry about the background noise, it's the voice Unicom network. If you have a choice, you can either A, fly this Cessna 152 or whatever for an hour, or you can B, go and sit in the corner of a control tower and listen to the real ATC and see how they do stuff and things like that. I think I'd probably choose the ATC because I quite like the whole technical side. If that makes sense. Would you fancy flying a real plane? Would you jump on the chance if somebody said to you, "Do you want to have a go in this A380. No, I will yeah, to be fair, I'd probably be the exact same. To be fair. Yeah, like I said, I like the whole technical aspects more than the actual flying aspects. I think I probably enjoy air traffic controlling on the network a little bit more, but I do enjoy flying, and I've been flying for 20 odd years. I've been flying. I started off with Flight Sim. I think it was called Flight Sim 9, and then we got Flight Sim 2002, and I did most of my hours in 2002, but it wasn't like that out the window. It was all the pre-generated, auto-generated terrain, so you couldn't tell where you were. It's like if we had a map, we could compare the stuff. Like if we look on a little nav map now, I just got a little nav map really quick. You can see those lakes there, look, that are out at the plane's window. You see those three little lakes? But they're right there on little nav map, look. So the wing's in the way, but there's a little one, a little one, and two big ones. I mean, little one, two big ones. So it is read photogen. We never had anything like that. We didn't have a little nav map. We didn't have anything. We had you basically used to navigate everywhere by where you are, and then you had to basically time yourself. So you do like, right, if I fly 150 knots for 20 minutes, I'll end up here, and so on and so forth. You didn't have the luxury of having a little nav map. Now Navigraph is so good. Yeah, one of my friends, he bought a flight sim just on a whim. I think it was on sale, and he just bought it. And he said to me, "Oh, you used to play flight sim, didn't you?" And I said, yeah, like years ago. And he's like, "Oh, now have a look at this." And I said, "Oh, it's not. It's the new flight sim." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, sweet. I'll have a look." And then he streamed it. I'm like, "What's that?" And it's flight sim. I'm like, "No." And he's like, "Yeah." And we went no, yeah, for like 20 minutes. And then, yeah, so he's streaming it. He's flying around where sort of, we live quite close together. So he's like flying around where we sort of live. And I'm like, oh my God, that's amazing. I've gotta have this. And luckily he had a spare joystick. So I went down and borrowed the joystick, came home. Yeah. Then obviously I always enjoy flying on mine. So I reactivated my account. Right, there's, I should have talked in a second. There's the airfield. There's the abandoned. Right, there, oh yeah, they look totally different. There's the abandoned one. There's the airfield we're landing at. Let's have a look and a think about how we're going to do this. So let's switch to little nav. Let me just zoom. Too many buttons. Right, so who's messaging? Yes. Right, so we've got no. So we'll assume it's runway 26. That looks about right. Let's shove a. We're going to try pattern, so we'll do 26 and we'll do left hands. So we're actually, I mean, We're 1,000 feet above the traffic pattern height, so to wear anything here we'd be okay. We should have really paid a bit more, but I was too busy chatting, to be honest. I was too busy talking. Let's turn the autopilot off and let's get ourselves set up. We'll nip over onto the dark side. Sorry, the dark side, right, the dead side. And then we will do another join overhead. And we will probably just land. We may do a touch and go. Anyone want to see another touch and go? Or we may just land. We may have a little flight just over here to be fair. And have a little look. You know, we may just have a little look around here. These lakes look really stunning, don't they? That looks much more YouTube to it, but that's what I just see. Yeah, that looks really nice. Look how good that looks. Very good. Sort of stately home or something. Maybe farms here. Wonderful place to live. Looks really nice. Right, let's turn back. Let's get ourselves descending. We'll join overhead 1,000 feet. Check the parameter, press B. And then we will. Let's do a touch and go again, yeah, because they're fun. Let's do a touch and go, then we'll rejoin the circuit, and then we'll land. And I think that will be it for today. We've been going about an hour and a half, I think. Maybe a little bit longer. Right, there's the airfield. Still. Drop that nose. Try to avoid these houses here a little bit. Enjoying I've ever seen, but as I say, we're only a little bit realistic, mostly fun. $500 feet too high. Not a big clog, just cut the throttle. Keep the RPM up, cut the throttle. You don't want the annoying siren going clacks. Gear down, which I am aware of. There's the runway. A little bit further afield. Oh, okay, let's retrim and then let's get ourselves turned downwind. Not this one here, the one behind that group of trees. There was a little runway just behind that group of trees. That is where we are heading for. Every time I let go of the stick, if I don't get it trimmed properly, we end up nosediving. Right, looking good. There it is. Let's go in on the terrain's a little bit higher on the east side of it. Let's drop the gear. Drop some. I can't reach the lever. There's the try and adjust this turn quite well, I think. Speed down, but the wind's still pushing. I can still sort of not feel it, but I can sort of sense it. Right, let's turn here. I'm a little bit too close, but we'll see if we can make it work. Might be able to. We'll only do the touch and go. If we don't touch, we don't touch. We can just take off again. Turned a little bit late. I used to like a little runway in the big one. What's that about? fences. Oh Christ, there's trees at the end of the runway, look. Hang on, go, get above the trees. Get above the trees, climb. Nice. Okay. We'll leave the gear down, because that gives the aircraft a little bit more stability. We'll fly a slower circuit. Yeah, we'll fly a slower circuit. I think we'll go up to like 1,200 or something. That's the 500 feet. Let's turn to crosswind. Yeah, anybody else play any other games? Just a phone. It is minivan. Okay. Right, where's the airfield? Right behind there. Back down the train on the river. Quite often when you don't pay attention, you try to do 4 things at once. There's the river, so we'll sort of follow the river-ish. I want to go a little bit higher this time, so we're not quite, well, we did alright last time, I think. Wasn't the best, but we did alright. Yeah, I am wanting to set up some kind of virtual airline, but not your typical virtual airline, not where you just join and you just do whatever you want to do and fly whatever you want to do. I want to set up a proper sort of, I don't really know how to describe it, like a flying club where you have to be rated to fly a particular aircraft, if that makes sense. So what you do is you join, you'd have to pass a test to join. So you'd pass a small written test, which is multiple choice, maybe 15, 20 questions or whatever. You'd have to get enough of them right to pass, and if you pass that, you then have to do a check ride. You then have to demonstrate that you can fly a VFR circuit, for example. And then if you can fly a VFR circuit, then you'd get rated to do VFR circuits. But then, if you wanted to do local VFR flights, you'd then have to pass navigation tests. So you'd have to prove that you knew how to navigate without little nav map and things like that. You'd have to prove that you knew how to navigate your way around by doing a short demo flight, which you'd stream, and I'd watch. And then, if you passed that, then you'd be certified for doing local VFR flights. Then again, if you wanted to do cross-country flights, you'd then have to do another set of tests. So just to try and make it more interesting, because I think virtual airlines are brilliant, but I think when you just join and you do whatever you want to do, and you fly, like you join and all of a sudden you're flying an F380 or a 747 and you don't know what you're doing, it just ruins it for everybody, especially us guys on the ATC side of things as well. So I think you just need a little bit more structure. So there'd be training material, there'd be videos, there'd be documentation for different types of learners and things, and then different aircraft classifications. So for example, if you wanted to, I'm not playing it, I'm too busy talking, if you wanted to fly the Bonanza, for example, you'd have to do a check ride. Any single piston, you'd have to do a simple check ride. And then if you wanted to go up to a twin engine, for example, you'd have to get a twin engine certification. You wanted to start flying something like the ATR, you'd have to do an ATR. We're too fast with it. I wasn't paying attention, I was too busy babbling away. Let's just do a low approach and we'll just go around again and actually pay attention this time. gear up and the flaps up. Yeah, so you'd have to pass like certain certifications to do certain things, basically. To try and make it a little, because obviously in real life, I don't know much about real life to be fair, but I know you have to go for your private pilot's license, and then I know you have to do, I think your private pilot's license covers things like cross-country flights and things like that, maybe. But then you'd obviously expand on that to 500 feet, turn across, and then you could do like multi-engine, maybe even seaplane. I mean, but obviously the problem with this is the whole training material needs to be created. Then the website needs to be created in such a way that it can be autonomous mostly. The biggest reason why I've not done it is because back in my day, and I keep saying that, and I sound so bloody old, but back in my day, back in my day, you'd have you'd do a flight, you'd have to go to the website and you'd have to type in all the details manually. There was no automatic PyRep software. You'd have to do everything manually. So when you were doing a flight, you'd have to make sure you wrote down everything. The time you took off, the time you landed, you'd have to work out how much fuel you used. You'd have to work out everything yourself. Nowadays, it's all software. You run a piece of software, you run a little piece of software in the background, and that does everything for you. The problem I've found that all this sort of software you have to pay for. As we've discussed earlier, I'm quite tight, and I don't like paying money when I don't have to. And I'd rather try and make my own, to be honest. So, yeah, that's the plan. So, in between everything else I'm doing, I'm trying to learn how to make my own PyRep software that I can then link. Oh, pardon me. I can then link to my own website, and it will be exclusive to me. It won't be anything fancy. It'll just do the basics, you know. But it should be. Oh, what's that back over there? Just so I can just see the chat. That's all, in case any of you would LOL anything about me trying to land. Right. Anyway, I'm going to concentrate. I'm going to shut up talking, and I'm going to concentrate on landing. Where's the movement? That might be good. There it is. Right, we'll just descend a little bit. Just a little bit. Christina G. You people. What's she on about? She was a singer. Right. Throttle, gear, flaps. Leave the RPM high. Bring the throttle. Not idle, but a little bit. Just trying to get that speed down. Get the full flaps. This is looking much nicer. Still maybe a little bit higher than what I want to be. I'm quite low at these trees. I feel really low. Yeah, so hopefully I'll be streaming tomorrow. I'm not sure where we're going to go. If you have any suggestions, or as I always say, if you have any suggestions, any places you'd like me to visit, I fly from where I land. So I wouldn't just like take off from somewhere else. We have to take off from here. It has to be no more than an hour and a half away. We could always detour off another day, sort of thing. You know what I mean? We don't have to fly everywhere at once. We can. I'll make a list, and then if I'm in an area, you're like, oh, I live in the area. I want you to fly. You can pass my local park or whatever, and point it out, then we can be doing that. Parking this way, okay? We'll go this way, and then yeah. So any suggestions? There was a little micro light. That must be so scary. Yeah. Any suggestions? Anywhere you'd like me to go visit? I love going to new places. So anywhere new. A little number. Let's just go for number. I'm not really sure how you're supposed to back yourself in, but we'll just stop here and I'm sure they'll push the plane in once the engine's turned off. Right, flaps up. Parking brake is set. Let's turn off the engine. Let's turn off the avionics. It's probably like a super realistic way of doing it. Just do it that way. Is that stupid flight syncing going to pop up? No, it is not. Right, thank you very much for watching. Very nice to meet you guys that typed in chat. And yeah, I'll be streaming tomorrow, probably about the same time. Maybe a tiny little bit later. And yeah, have a wonderful day, everybody. Thank you for watching. And until next time, bye for now.